chair recognizes Brian Huff.
Madam Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a statement, and then a question, and then I have a few more statements, I guess. So it was discussed earlier about the calculation of GNCC being under the 95% threshold to trigger the bylaw action. I know for a fact that GNCC did not collect dues from its member organizations during the year 2021, and so therefore they didn't have an accurate count of their members, and the assumption that 2020 membership was a good representation of reality during a global pandemic is, I think, a bit of a reach. Speaking from our club's personal experience, we are an arena club. We dropped by 2/3 of membership between 2020 and 2022 or 2021 when we were able to start curling again. And surrounding dedicated clubs dropped accordingly because we definitely lost some members to open spaces in dedicated clubs that were previously full. So there's plenty of evidence to suggest that the 2020 membership number is not representative of the year 2021 or 2022, and quite frankly, probably not 2023. So that's just a statement of our reality. But the question, I believe, goes to Mr. Gleason. I think there is in the bylaws a requirement that GNCC gets notified of the arrears, and I'd like a statement on the record of when they got notification and what that notification was.
The chair. Hold on one second, Mr. Huff. The chair recognizes Jenna Berchevsky from Member Services to answer that question.
A notice was sent out from the Member Services Department in FY21, sent to all clubs that were in arrears of paying dues, and then an additional notice was sent out in FY22 to all clubs who were in arrears of paying dues.
Does that include a notification to the region itself?
Okay. Mr. Huff, are you set?
Did you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
The chair recognizes...
Excuse me. Can you hear me?
Dustin
Hello?
Devine?
Hello?
He's not done.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Huff. And yes, you did not receive an answer to your question. So I will wait for Mr. Huff to get an answer to his question.
I'm sorry, Mr. Huff. I did. There's some technology. Mr. Huff, what was your question, please?
My question was, did that notification also go to the region itself and not just the individual clubs?
Yes. Jenna Berchevsky says yes.
And did the notification also include numbers, or was it just a general statement?
It was a statement that the club's in arrears of dues.
Okay, and before I yield my time, I'd just like to state to our fellow curlers in the Midwest. I've heard a lot of speculation about, the motivations of the GNCC for passing bylaws that there's a claim go against USA curling bylaws, and there's a heavy implication that it's sort of a competition or a in direct just competition with USA curling. And I would like to offer an alternative interpretation that it is a volunteer-run, nonprofit organization that is in charge of other volunteer-run, nonprofit organizations in the middle of a global pandemic, and they acted in the best interests of their member clubs financially, and nothing more. And I would also like to add that there are conversations around the country that don't necessarily include you, where GNCC isn't the only region where clubs are unhappy financially about what's happening with USA curling, and it could very well be much more expensive to curl in the Midwest in the near future. And I yield my time.
Thank you. The chair recognizes